All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to Night Moves here for Friday, January 23rd. We got a nice little card here, about a size card here for our Friday as we gear up for the weekend action, the big NFL games, UFC's return for 2026, and great weekend also for some tennis action. I just watched 18-year-old sensation Iva Jovic just win over Paulino over at Australian Open. And, man, a great run here for the 18-year-old American. Look, she could even win her next round match, but, she will be facing Sabalenka in her quarter. But nonetheless, a great run here for the 18-year-old future superstar, no doubt. And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Friday, January 23rd. Thank you for joining me here for the action as we get ready to look at the card here for Friday. Worked out my technical issues there, and we'll have a great preview here of the action on Friday night, NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Should note some games have been moved up here for the impending storm. Maybe we could at least recite those and just have a say here into what games have been moved up. So far, a handful. I imagine we might see some postponements over the weekend on the big Saturday card. So they've tried to anticipate the travel and the weather here. Good morning and welcome to Night Moves here for Friday, January 23rd. We got some great action here on Friday night. Thursday night, talk about the action for Friday. And yeah, we might be watching some tennis here. I just saw Iva Jovic win her match just moments ago. Great match. Jovic wins, the 18-year-old American. She beats Jasmine Paolini here in straight sets. Paolini kind of led that second set. Shows how Jovic is maturing fast here. Rallied to win and gets a tiebreaker in the second set. She won in straight sets, actually, in the end. Jovic, I do have her at 200-1. Unfortunately, she'll run up against Arina Sabalenka in the quarterfinal. I don't know if I can get paid off on that wager or not. Look, she's playing great. I don't think she could beat Sabalenka, but hey, she could win her next match as well. Reasonable match against Putinetsov, I believe, and then she could get to the quarterfinals. That'd be a great run for the 18-year-old American. Where at the Australian Open, where the post match is just as thrilling as the matches with the crowds and the players. They want to show each other up a little bit. I don't know what's going on with them, but a cordial match between Jovic and Paolini. Jovic gets the win there. More action here tonight as well at the Australian Open. Keeps me entertained here while I talk to you guys and also after the show. So thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. We get ready for the action here on Friday night, and we got just a little bit of college basketball, really. It's all about the NBA, NHL, getting ready for the big weekend, of course, with uh, the NFL playoffs, of course, on Sunday, and UFC makes its debut for 2026 on Paramount Plus. So you don't have to plunk down that $75 or $80 anymore. As long as you got Paramount Plus, you're going to watch it all. Great move for the UFC. Look, the pay-per-view era, it might be over, really, in terms, with the Netflix getting into boxing, and you have this package here where, one thing that does limit you when you have those pay-per-view is you don't put your best athletes in front of the most people. And at least I think now they are going to be able to do that. That's important for the growth. It might be great for the money when you're rolling in here, but the UFC's graduated to the big time a little bit here right now with this, big $7 billion deal, and now they can get their best athletes in front of the world stage, and that'll give them more notoriety and accolades. I think it'll be a great move for the UFC here. And we have a great card to start it off this weekend, of course, with the main event. The thing about the main event and the co-main is you do have the shake-up a little bit here with some of the fighters coming in the interim lightweight championship in the main event between Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. Topuria, he's sidelined right now, so this will be a massive one between top 5 contenders. And then the co-main there with the bantamweights, Sean O'Malley wants to try to solidify his spot in the White House card. Sounded like maybe they were going to knock him off that card anyways, but it might be hard to keep him off there if he beats Song Yadong this weekend. Of course, those guys are looking for a title shot against Peter Yan. Could it be at the White House event there? We'll see. And so great card UFC weekend here in Las Vegas. All right, thanks to everyone for joining me here in the chat. We'll just go over a little bit of the action here over at Tony'sPicks.com from Thursday night. How did you folks do with your plays here on Night Moves last night? We'll take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot over at Tony'sPicks.com there and see who had a great day. I think I just got a split there myself, but oh man, I lost one by 1 point there. But yeah, that's sports betting. Let's go to those handicapper leaderboards and see who had a day. Oh, it's Ronnie Crawford here with a big day. Ron on top of the handicapper leaderboard here for Thursday. 9-3 for Ron. Great job, Ron. 5.5 units. There's Vegas Al rolls a 2-0 there yesterday with his premium picks. Tony T, 3-1. Great job. Alninos wins. Chris Adkins with the win. There's Justin McKelvey. Stacks goes 2-1 and doubles goes 3-2. Check out the handicapper leaders over at Tony'sPicks.com. Last 7 days, Steve Duncan still rocking it here, up 11 units overall. You got David Racy up there, 5 units for the week. Ron Hunt up there, 2.25 units. Justin is up there as well, up 2 units. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can click on the handicapper leaderboards. You can click on the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up over there at Tony's Picks. There we go. Last 7 days, I got some winners here anyway, and rolled a couple of winners here on Wednesday. I had here Georgia State over Southern Miss, 69-62. And there's the loser I had right there. Oh, man, I had Youngstown minus 7.5. They were flirting with that line. The line did move from 6.5 to 7.5. I still laid it. And just finished as an 88-81 loss. So I got hooked there in that one, and we did rock the under with I had a late steam play, announced it as a late steam play with the time change. I like this game under, and they moved it to a day game. Had to come in with some late steam there. 83-62 the under in Gulf Coast and Austin P there. Again, some of the games have been moved up for travel purposes here in college basketball. In fact, there are 5 games tomorrow. I believe it might be 5. It might be 7, actually, here. I'm looking at it. Go to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages. You can click on the upcoming tab that shows you the latest games. The next game's up there. You see some of the day games. DeAndre is involved in one of the day games there tomorrow. There over at Tony's Picks. Now, just to mention, I won't go over too many of the games here real quick, but tomorrow there are a few games that have moved here for purposes of weather incoming. We know it's going to be a crazy storm, although that reaches from, I don't know, from the northeast to the Oklahoma Panhandle, it looks like there. See how it affects the one football game. Well, obviously in Seattle, it might be hopefully okay, not too crazy up there in Seattle, but certainly with the football game in Denver, we'll see maybe Denver a little bit north of that trail of bad weather, but still might be pretty cold out there from what we've seen with the forecast here this weekend in the NFL. But let me get these games to you and tell you about tomorrow's college basketball here. So games that have been moved here this weekend include Monroe and Appalachian State be tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. East Carolina and Texas, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. There tomorrow, Mercyhurst and New Haven actually has been pushed forward an hour and a half. That was originally an 11:30 start. It's now a 1 p.m. start on the East Coast. But also some time changes here tomorrow, including Furman and Greensboro added to the Friday card as well there tomorrow. Also, Tulane and Charlotte, Middle Tennessee and Jacksonville State, Citadel and East Tennessee, Kennesaw State, Louisiana Tech, among the games that are moved to Friday. I guess it's 7 games here that are moved to Friday right now. And like I said, we'll just have to see what unfolds when it comes to the action on Saturday with some of the weather. So just keep that in mind. All right, we did have some winners here on Night Moves, but let me say hello to the chat here joining me and get rolling here with our coverage of the action here on Friday. And say hello to the folks waiting for me here in the chat, including Tim J. He's got the first there. Also, Mr. Wesker's ready to join us today. Andre's here. Richie Rich in the chat. Timmy Two Shoes as well. Thank you, guys. Let's see anybody else here. Got some NHL tonight. We've got some NBA. Cal Dog joins us this evening, ready to go. Stuporia's got. They say it's just some attending to some personal matters, Mr. West. I'm not trying to. Yeah, no doubt. There's Ron Jeff in the chat as well. Thank you to Ron Jeff there. I think we got the hellos in there, everybody. And we'll take a look at some of the action here from Thursday. We did have some winners here on Night Moves yesterday. Hey, we had the Charlotte Hornets in that game. Man, Charlotte, they either win by a lot or lose by a lot. But you know what? We talked about, or I talked about how Charlotte's been really talked about by a lot of pro bettors and a lot of experts as a team that may have a big second half and have a run in them here, turn it around a little bit from a slow start to the season here. They're still 17-28 now after the win there over Orlando, but they really dumped the Magic 124-97. Hey, we had them here on Night Moves yesterday. We also had the Sixers in their win over Houston. It did take overtime, make no mistake, but the Sixers got the win there over Houston. We also had a winner on Night Moves here with the Warriors and the Mavericks game to go over, and it did just that in the Mavericks 123-115 win over the Warriors. We had the Bulls yesterday as well. I'm sorry, we had the under in the Spurs and the Jazz yesterday here on the show. It stayed under. 235 was the finals. The Spurs rocked the Jazz 126-109. They also got the money there in that one. Also, we had the winner here with the Clippers last night as our pick over the Lakers there yesterday. 112-104. Lakers were a little bit flat offensively in that one. NBA winners here on Night Moves included, NHL winners here on Night Moves included Vegas and Boston game to go over. We had that one here on the show last night. We also had the under with the Stars and the Blue Jackets, as the Blue Jackets won it 1-0 over the Stars at home. We also had the Nashville Predators over Ottawa. They took care of business 5-3. We had the over with the Penguins and the Oilers 6-2. Penguins rocked them there, a part of our winning card there on Thursday. And how about some of the action also in college basketball here on Thursday night? We did bring home some winners on Night Moves here yesterday. With Marist and Siena game to go under. That was our pick here on Night Moves. Also, Arkansas State and Georgia Southern game to go under was a winner here on the show. So they brought home a couple winners there last night, and I want to hear from you with your picks today when we go over the card here on Friday. Thank you for joining me. And we'll get rolling with the action here right now. Thank you. Let me get a few more comments with you in here and some of your action here. Let's see here. Am I doing something? Let's see. My mic. Yeah, they always tell me that too. But man, I'm so cramped in here. I got limited space here in the satellite studios. I don't want to ruin our chance for an Emmy, however, a Webby. Okay, what am I doing here, Mr. Westers? Is it just is the fan going here? Okay, let's take a look here and see who else. Anybody else joining me here? And there's Jacob Zakai there in the chat. He went 10x yesterday. Great job to Jacob. All right, let's get rolling here with the action. I'll try to make sure you can hear me here. Hopefully there's not any technical difficulties. I was having some issues there to start. Okay, here we go. Let's get rolling with the show here right now, and don't want to ruin anybody's enjoyment of the broadcast. All right, here we go. Let's go to NBA action here on Friday night and take a look at our card here with the Rockets taking on the Pistons. Get it rolling here. NBA action for Friday. Rockets on the road. They're going to be an underdog here against the streaking Pistons. The Pistons have been rolling here once again with a 4-game winning streak right now. They just toppled New Orleans last time out, 112-104 to improve their winning streak to 4 games right now coming into this one. They've also won 7 of their last 8 games coming in right now. For Houston, meanwhile, they've been pretty well off here as well, having won 3 of their last 4 games coming in, although they're coming in off of a loss to Philadelphia, 128-122 as a 1.5-point favorite on the road. Detroit here, 12-10 against the spread at home. This is only the 4th time this season that the Rockets have been an underdog. They are struggling right now to get some numbers despite the wins here. They've failed to cover in 9 of their last 11 games overall coming in. Houston is just 1-5 against the spread against the Pistons in the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Houston has won 4 of their last 6. They haven't been a great favorite, but hey, they are 2-1 ATS in the dog roll. Both these teams, man, solid unders. I mean, 217 here, really one of the lower totals you're going to see here. We also have another low total in the next game, but Houston here has gone under right now in 10 of their last 12 games. Detroit's gone under in 9 straight games, including 8 straight at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Now, you do got to pay for it here to stick with the under at 217 here right now. Detroit also 14-20 to the under as a favorite. Mentioned those 3 games for Houston where they have been an underdog, and they're 1-2 to the under here. So do have some notes here as well with our injury report. So take a look at that right now, and then you guys get ready in the chat for your picks here in this one. Everybody's kind of sick right now here, and even I've got the sniffles. But Cade Cunningham, he's ill. He's questionable. Karis LeVert, he's also got an illness. He's questionable. You know what they say: if two guys are injured, two guys are ill, the whole team's probably ill here. So maybe a little bit tough for the Pistons, but still, they do feel like they're the better cover here right now. Houston not getting much done really against the spread. So maybe it's built in here a little bit at 4.5, and the total here 217. I'll go ahead and take the under here in this one with these two teams right now. Let's go under here on night moves at 217. These two teams did have their first meeting. Detroit won at 115 to 111 as a 6.5 point dog on the road. Let's go to the chat. See what you got here with this one, Houston and Detroit. All right, and let's see here. Mr. Weskers is on the Pistons here. Andre says he's got Duran for a double-double in this one. Mr. Weskers not happy with the coaching job of the Rockets coach. And Timmy says the Rockets are on the road after a lot of work here. Yeah, they just played at Philly, second straight road game here. Andre on the Pistons on the money line. Cal Dog says take the Pistons -3 or so here. And there's Jacob. He says that's a low total, but if you're missing Cade here and his 25.5 points per game, that could be a big factor. Andre says I'm going over. They've just put it too low here. And Jacob says Houston's been rolling here. Houston has had big time success against Detroit. I'm showing Detroit having covered, however, in 5 of the last 6 games. Yeah, those games it's been really the visiting team that kind of wins in this series overall, right? I mean, Detroit's basically won the last 3 times in Houston. And vice versa, the other way around. Houston won here in Detroit last year, 101-99, although they were a 4-point favorite in that one. Now, of course, the Pistons in this great season here. Hey, NBA Finals preview? No, maybe not, but nonetheless. Okay, I think you guys got your chat in there. I'll take the under in this one. Pardon me. All right, next up, the Celtics are on the road here taking on the Nets. NBA action here for Friday night. Boston coming in here 27-16. Brooklyn back to a losing streak here. They've lost 3 in a row right now. They're 12-30 coming into this one. Boston 27-16, winners of 3 of their last 4. They're coming in here off of a win and cover against the Pacers the other night at home, 119-104. Boston was on a long road trip and came back home and beat Indiana for 1 game. Now they're back on the road here, although it's just a short jaunt down there to Brooklyn. Still awkward to play the long road trip, come home for 1 game, and then shoot back out for a little road game at Brooklyn here. Brooklyn has lost 3 in a row to Chicago, Phoenix, and New York. They got blasted by the Knicks, of course, 120 yeah, there was no 1. It was 120-66 in the last game between these two. Is an absolute drubbing there for Boston. Brooklyn did win back in November at Boston, 113-105 as a 13.5 point dog, for a little bit of an upset there for sure, but still between these two. Boston here has won and covered for their last 4 games. They're 12-5 in their last 17. They are just 2-4 ATS in their last 6 against the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn comes in having lost 8 of their last 9. And also Brooklyn just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games. Boston comes in here having gone under in 5 of their last 6. Brooklyn's gone under in 5 of their last 7. and 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. So these two teams are combined 35 and 50 to the under so far this season. Boston here, pretty big favorite, but Brooklyn having their struggles here again. Boston feeling still a little bit rejuvenated right now, trying to keep these winning ways going here. Still pretty good record, but Minot is questionable here for Boston. Derek White is out here for now. And for Brooklyn, clean injury report pretty much with what we know. Let's go to the chat here in this one, see what you have between the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics here on Friday night. Go to the chat here. All right, Cal Dogs on the Celtics here. And Jacob says after the other night, he could never even take the Nets ever. All right, MPJ to score 5 threes and 7 rebounds, and the rest of the roster can get out of town, says Timmy Two Shoes. Mr. Weskers, though, ain't going to lay 8 with Boston here against these guys. And let's see here. Timmy says, I think that might be it from you guys in the chat there, actually. Hey, I've got me another under here right now. The Nets have a lot of problems here. I'm going to try the under again here with the 2 lowest scoring games of the night to give me the under in this one with Boston and Brooklyn. Sacramento Kings on the road taking on Cleveland Cavaliers. Action here on Friday night. Sacramento coming in 12 and 33. Cleveland comes in 25 and 20. The Kings have dropped 3 in a row here once again. Consecutive losses all at home to Portland, Miami, and Toronto. They were on a long homestand, hit the road here, take on Cleveland. Winners over Charlotte last time out on the road, 94-87. Cleveland's won and covered 3 of their last 4 games coming into this one. Cavaliers, though, laying 11 here. Cavs have won 8 of their last 12. 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games overall, but just 1-4 ATS at home. That Cleveland way here right now. Yep, they're a winning team, but they aren't great at covering. Just 11-24 against the spread as a favorite. 7-18 against the spread at home, but they're up against a Kings team that not only do they not win very much, they also are not a great cover team, although their spread record is better than their overall record, so maybe they can do it here. They are 7-13 ATS on the road, despite a 3-17 straight up record, and they're 9-32 as an underdog this season, but 15-26 against the spread here. Maybe you can squeeze in the Kings here. Could they hang here against Cleveland? That, certainly is looking to keep winning here right now, keep building on this, 26-20 record, a little bit un-Cleveland-like right now. So maybe there's enough motivation here. But again, Cleveland just a worse cover than Sacramento, if you can believe it. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Sacramento's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. These two teams have not yet met this season. So let's see what you've got here between these two. Sacramento and Cleveland action here for Friday night. All right, Mr. Western says the Kings might not win a game the rest of the season. I'll take the over on that. Cavs dominate, says Andre. Mr. Westers is going to lay it. Cal Dogs going under here. I think I want to go under too, but that'd give me 3 unders in 3 games, but I think I'm going to do it. All right. Timmy Chushu says, forget the Cavs in there. And maybe Timmy Chushu could take the Kings in the first half. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go with 3 straight unders right now as my picks here on the show. Give me under 233 with the Kings and the Cavs. All right, here's a pretty good game right now. The Suns taking on the Hawks. Suns have won three in a row. They're favorites on the road. I don't know. I mean, it feels like this Suns team playing well again here right now. They're 27 and 17. They've had a great run. Atlanta here's had some losses of late, but they did turn it around last time out, snapping a losing streak with a 122 win at Memphis the other night. Phoenix comes in off of wins over New York, Brooklyn, and Philadelphia. They did cover the spread in two of those games. They failed to cover as a 9.5 point favorite against the Nets, but they still won that one by 9. Phoenix is 16-3 against the spread as a favorite. The Hawks are just 7-13 against the spread at home. Could it be a letdown spot here for the Phoenix Suns right now? I mean, the algorithm to me says it is a letdown spot, but the Suns are just playing so well, and the Hawks, they had a little bit of a surge there. It felt like once they kicked Trae Young off to Washington, but then they went on another losing streak. At least they got that win last time out. Man, it feels like this is the letdown spot for the Suns, but who could really fade them at this point? For Atlanta, you got Reese Shea. He's out here indefinitely. Porzingis, he's been out a while now. So I think it's all built in here with the spread here right now. Suns by 2, maybe even 2.5 right now. They're actually going up here at this point. Does look like a bit of a mismatch on paper the way the Suns are going right now, but got to give the Hawks a chance here in this one. The Suns, a terrific cover. Obviously, like I said, not only 16-3 as a favorite. Now, Atlanta is 15-10 as an underdog, so you could give them a little bit up. Let me keep that graphic up there. Oh, I have a little bit of. There we go. All right, and the total here, 233. The Suns are 19-25 to the under. They're also 7-12 to the under as a favorite. Like I said, that great record is a favorite, and when you're going under, you're doing it with some D. Maybe a little bit overlooked this Phoenix defense. They've won 12 of their last 16. They've covered 15 of their last 18 games overall. Atlanta just 1-4 straight up and ATS in their last 5. Phoenix just 2-6 against the spread, their last 8 against Atlanta, but that's not necessarily with this way that this Phoenix team is playing right now. Phoenix has gone under in 7 of their last 10. Atlanta's gone under in 8 of their last 12, although 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Is it another Phoenix win? Can they keep it up here against Atlanta? I want to hear from you in the chat in this one and talk me off of it here with Phoenix taking on Atlanta here on Friday night. Okay, here we go with the chat. Cal Dog's on the Suns here. Timmy's got it as an over. And Jacob says it's a pretty even matchup, and he'd go with the home dog. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it is an even matchup here, the way this Phoenix team is going, but Mr. Westers thinks KP maybe has retired here. It's been so long since we've seen him. Timmy Choo Shoes likes Allen in his threes, and Jacob says Atlanta 7-0 against the spread. Their last 7 at home against Phoenix. I got you there, no doubt, but man, this is like I said, this feels like a different Phoenix team overall, right? All right, and yeah, it's been kind of a home-dominated series. And here, Timmy Choo Shoes, Booker's been scoring, but not hitting those threes anymore. God, this team is so good right now. Give me the over in this one with Phoenix and Atlanta here on Friday night. I'll take the over in this one at 233. I'm just hesitant, actually. I mean, I think Phoenix is going to be a public favorite here tomorrow. Maybe it'll go up a little bit. Like I said, I just feel like this is the spot where maybe just a little bit of pause for the Suns. It's hard to fade this team right now. I mean, they are really playing well. Can't win them all here, but man, you really going to try to buck a 16-3 spread run as a favorite for Phoenix here? And like I said, Atlanta 7-13 ATS at home. Although, like I said, a decent underdog, 15-10 ATS. All right, thank you to the chat as well. New Orleans Pelicans going to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. NBA action here for Friday night. Pelicans coming in on another 3-game losing streak right now with consecutive losses here to Indiana, Houston, and Detroit. They did get the money at Houston as a 13.5-point dog, losing by 9. However, New Orleans has been struggling here of late. ATS. Right now, New Orleans coming in here currently with a run of 2-14 straight up in their last 16, 4-12 ATS in those 16 games. But Memphis here, they've gone just 3-8 straight up and against the spread their last 11 games overall. Memphis has covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. The two teams did meet back in November. Memphis won at 133-128 as a 3.5-point favorite. Memphis has had a pretty good run in this series also of late, winning several of these last few. Not like I said, yes, New Orleans 1-4 ATS, but Memphis has won all 5 of those games. So let me hear from you guys in the chat. New Orleans on the road, they are getting the points here. Memphis just 11-11 ATS at home, 8-9 ATS is a favorite. New Orleans is 23-19 against the spread as an underdog here, but it's been a pretty rugged run. But Memphis ain't scaring many folks here. They did lose last time out against Atlanta, 124-122 as a 1.5-point favorite as they return home from that trip to Europe. Let's go with the chat here in this one and see what you got tonight with the Pelicans taking on the Grizzlies here. Cal Dog likes the Grizzlies in this one. And Mr. Wesker's talking about that last second shot there last game. He says the Pelicans could win this one outright. I don't think can win. I'm actually going to take the Pelicans here plus the 6 points tonight against Memphis in this one. I'm going to grab the points here with the visitors. Take 6. The total here should note it has gone up dramatically here. Let me update this. It's actually 236.5 right now. Wow. And there we go. Yeah, a little bit of a stiff move here to the over in this one in the game between New Orleans and Memphis. All right, give me New Orleans here. I'll take them plus the points on Friday night. All right, I think there's actually been a little bit of a time change on this one, but let me go with it here. I've already put the graphic up. Denver and the Bucks. This one will actually be at 9:40 Eastern, 6:40 Pacific as the Denver Nuggets on the road, taking on the Bucks here in Milwaukee. Hey, Milwaukee loses again there against OKC last time out, 122-102. They were getting 12 in that one at home, and the Thunder still rocked the Bucks. Bucks have been in a big-time rut here right now. Milwaukee has lost 4 of their last 5, going 1-4 ATS in those games. Denver's won 5 of their last 7, going 5-0 against the spread. Their last 5 on the road. They've beaten Milwaukee in 4 of the last 5 meetings. The teams did play their first game of the season just 12 days ago, and the Nuggets won it 108-104. in that one, as Denver actually was an underdog in that game. They did have some personnel issues, obviously, but they were 6 point dogs and won the game at home to the Bucks. How did that go down there? We know that Denver had the players missing, but they still able to get it done in that one. For Denver here, they do come in 9-5 against the spread as a dog this season, and 16-9 against the spread on the road. Milwaukee, I mean, they're no good. Come on, they're 18-25 straight up. 8-12 against the spread at home, 7-12 against the spread as a favorite. Maybe this is one where they're trying to tell you something with the Bucks favored by 6.5 here. Yes, Denver has plenty of personnel issues coming into this game that has set this one up. You got uh, Christian Brown; he's still questionable. Jokic is out, but it doesn't seem like there's other names out here at this point for Milwaukee. You got Kevin Porter Jr. out indefinitely with an oblique strain. Miles Turner is probable here, but man, come on. Denver's still a pretty good cover. I know the Sharps are going to be on Milwaukee here. Maybe that is the case, laying the 6.5 here tonight. But man, is it something you really want to do here with this game? Again, maybe this is one where the spread's supposed to be telling you something, but it's hard for me to listen. Let's see what you guys think in the chat with this one. Denver continues to be a force, ATS, no doubt about it. Milwaukee did beat Atlanta on the road, 112-110 4 days ago, but that's really all the success they've had here recently. All right, let's see here. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Giannis. Does he even want to be a part of this situation? Everybody's trying to get him traded here at this point, but he seems to keep coming through right now, and maybe that's what's supposed to happen here tonight with a strong matchup. But all right, you guys are all over these Denver Nuggets right now, but still, they've been one of the best covers going. 16-9 ATS on the road as well here. So, all right, not much from you. There's Jacob. Somebody gave us a pick down here. He's going to go with Denver here in this one. Denver is 16-9 to the over on the road. They are 5-9 to the under as a dog, and Milwaukee is 8-11 to the under as a favorite here. So, all right, I guess that's gonna do it. Nobody's really too interested in this one. I got to go with the under here. Mr. West is going to take the Bucks and lay it. I'll take the under in this one. Pacers and Thunder. Now this one is actually at 8:10 Eastern, 5:10 Pacific. So I got those kind of backwards there, but you do have the Thunder here. Obviously a pretty big favorite. Rematch of the finals, but it isn't really after what we've seen this year from the Pacers. But maybe that's enough to motivate this Pacers club right now that is back to struggling once again. They failed a win here, lost 3 straight right now, and pretty much gotten blown out in all of them. Detroit, Philadelphia, and Boston. For the Thunder here, they've won and covered their last 2 over Cleveland and Milwaukee. Just seem to be still knocking it out of the park here once again, the Oklahoma City Thunder. But this is still one of those, you got those big number here. This game's not going to mean as much to the Thunder. It may mean something for the few Pacers that are out there that were on the team last year that lost the finals. The Thunder have injuries coming in as well. We know the long-term injuries certainly, but for Indiana, but short term also, you got guard Jalen Williams out, forward Jalen Williams questionable. Wiggins is questionable. Caruso, he's questionable in this game as well. AJ Mitchell is out. Hartenstein is out. So just Lots of personnel out for the Thunder here. Meanwhile, for Indiana Matterin, he's still out, but these are a lot of players out for a 16.5-point favorite. The Thunder here, the Pacers here, all they have is that motivation. It feels like I'm gonna have to try Indiana here plus 16.5. A lot of injuries for the Thunder here. Yes, they've got their star, of course, but I'm gonna have to try the Pacers here plus 16.5. Let's see what you got in the chat. Thunder for Mr. Wester's got him to rock. Jacob also gonna rock here right now. And Mr. Wester says they just don't have it. The Pacers just don't have enough to compete here. Timmy Two Shoes on OKC. Everyone's rocking OKC here. I just think that's too many players out, actually, and I'm going to take 16.5 here with the Pacers. All right, and finally, we're going to go out to Portland here for the Raptors taking on the Blazers Friday night. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Toronto, 27-19, having a pretty good run right now. Winners of 2 straight here. Wins over Golden State and Sacramento. Back-to-back wins here and covers, of course, on the road. They covered 5.5. In the win over the Kings. For Portland, meanwhile, 4 straight wins here and 4 straight covers, including wins and covers as favorites over LA, Sacramento, LA Lakers, Sacramento, and the Miami Heat. Portland's one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They're 18-10 against the spread as an underdog, 15-8 against the spread at home. Toronto's been hot, but they are just 10-16 against the spread as a favorite here. So look, Toronto's been on a great run. They're doing a great job, but Portland, great job here by this team, by this coaching staff right now. In fact, I'm showing the line starting to creep up to 4 a little bit. I got to try the home dog here in this one. For Toronto, Jacoby Walters questionable, RJ Barrett questionable, Murray Boyles is questionable as well. Relatively clean report for the Blazers. Got some long-term injuries here, but short-term, really, they're kind of okay and ready to go, man. I got to take the Trailblazers here, plus 3.5 or maybe even 4 now, it looks like, on Friday night. Portland, a terrific cover here at this point. Now, Toronto is 9-14 to the under on the road, 10-16 to the under as a favorite here coming in. So, Portland, though, 9-2 straight up in their last 11 games and against the spread. Meanwhile, Toronto, 1-4 straight up in ATS in their last 5 against Portland, although they are 4-1 ATS on the road in their last 5 overall. Toronto's actually lost 4 of the last 5 trips here into the Rose City. Portland's gone under in 13 of their last 18. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I'm going to take the Blazers at home here, plus the points over the Raptors. All right, here we go. And see if anybody in the chat's liking this one. Jacob says, Portland's been looking pretty good. Timmy says, Trailblazers here could be a little bit of regression for Toronto. Maybe Jacob might be on the over as well, or then maybe that was the last one. And Mr. Wester says right now this Toronto team's shooting extremely well. Timmy's got Klingon to a rebounding prop there. Mr. Westers likes the chances of this Toronto team this year. They're definitely looking pretty good here, particularly at home. All right, that's it for the NBA on Friday night. Good 8-game card there. Let's look at some college action here. I said abbreviated card, but again, with those additional 7 games, gives us some nice action here. With those, I don't have any of the write-in games actually previewed here. It's going to take a little extra work, actually, to get those games handicapped here. Maybe a little work while I'm watching some tennis here tonight. You guys were talking about the match between Tiapo and Demon in the chat here, and Demon Hour up a break in the first set here right now, but hey, still could be a great match. All right. Let's go to the college games here on Friday night. I've got 5 games to look at, and I'm starting with St. Louis and St. Bonaventure. In this one, you've got Billikens favored here on the road by 8. How about that over the Bonnies? Man, what a year it's been so far for St. Louis and this team. Man, they're looking pretty good here right now with this impressive record of 16-1. They're ranked 24th in the country here. St. Bonaventure, they've hit the skids here a little bit in conference play. They've fallen to 12-7 overall right now. They had a losing streak, but they just snapped it last time out with a win over Loyola of Illinois. 84-70 is a 10.5 point favorite. They were playing some of the tougher teams there in the A10. So far, standings in the A10 currently show St. Louis here 6-0, tied with Mason for first place. Bonaventure, off to that great start to the season, 11-2, and then they've lost 5 of 6 here so far. Frank Mitchell can't do it all for these guys, but St. Louis, man, they got Amari McCautry, of course. And they've, of course, got the big man in there, Robbie Avila. So pretty good team, the Billikens here right now, and on a pretty good roll. See what you folks have in the chat in this one with St. Louis and Bonaventure. Both teams pretty solid overs for sure, particularly St. Bonaventure. They're 8-2 to the over at home this season. St. Louis, they are 9-7 to the over as a favorite. These two teams have not yet met this season. The Billikens have had the best of the Bonnies here overall over the last couple of seasons. In fact, last year here at St. Bonaventure, last year the game was at St. Louis. St. Louis won it 73-68 as a 3.5 point favorite there in that one. I'm going to try the total here in this one and give me the over here at 158 between St. Louis and Bonaventure. I'm going to go over here in this one. Man, Bonaventure's gone over in 9 of their last 10 games overall. Jimmy says the Bonnies can't cover this. Jacob says St. Louis has been smoking everyone right now. Yeah, they did fail to cover in their last game on the road against Duquesne, laying 9 points, 81-77, but felt like just a little spread hiccup. I mean, they still won the game. They covered 14.5 against Richmond. They covered 18.5 against Fordham. But I will note the last time they were on the road, they were laying a big number. It was 17.5, double this, but they failed to cover against LaSalle. In fact, if there's anything, St. Louis 2-3 against the spread on the road. I guess if you want to point anything negative about the team, they have had a few non-covers in there, but the Bonnies just 3-7 against the spread at home, 6-12 against the spread overall, 2-1 against the spread as an underdog, though. So maybe that's just getting up to too many points here a little bit. Look, Bonaventure had a great preseason, and they've been doing pretty well here over the last 2 years, but St. Louis does feel like on a little bit different level, competing with Mason for that division lead right now. Let me just take the over in this one. St. Louis is definitely producing. And more like the Bonnies can't stop anybody. All right. Let's go to a little Big Ten action here. Big Ten Friday night. They've got a nice TV doubleheader here, I believe, with Indiana and Rutgers in this one. Indiana coming in on a 4-game losing streak right now. Rutgers has lost 2 straight. Indiana with consecutive losses here to Nebraska, Michigan State, Iowa, and Michigan. They did cover against the Wolverines last time out, so Got to give them that a little bit here. For Rutgers, meanwhile, back-to-back losses to Wisconsin and Iowa, but they did cover in those games, getting the money here. They were getting double digits. Uh, for Indiana here, they're 8-5 against the spread as a favorite, but Rutgers is 7-5 against the spread as an underdog coming in. These two teams have not met yet this season. Last year's matchup was won by IU at home, 84-74. They covered the number in that one as a 9-point favorite. All right, let's see if you have anything here in this one. IU so far 2-4 to the under on the road, and I'm going to go under here in this one at 148 between Indiana and Rutgers here on Friday night. And Mr. Wesker is liking Rutgers here at home against the spread, getting those 6.5 points from the struggling Hoosiers here. Like I said, I mean, they lost the last two. Yeah, they were getting way more points than this, but when you're playing Wisconsin and Iowa on the road, you can cover the spread in those games. They lost to Iowa by just 6. Getting 17.5, lost to Whiskey there. Also, won and covered against Northwestern and won and covered at home as a dog to Oregon. So, yeah, Rutgers has had their moments. Indiana definitely having a few losses here right now. Give me the under in this one. All right, we'll quickly stop over here to the Big East and take a look at Marquette. Taking on Butler here. Butler, a big 7-point favorite against struggling Marquette right now. An unshaka-like season. Butler has won 2 in a row here with wins over Seton Hall and DePaul. They didn't cover there against DePaul as a 7.5-point favorite. They won by 7. Butler comes in here 3-5 in conference play. Marquette just 2-7 in conference play. So Butler with Michael Ajayi, their star player here. Man, just if you look at Marquette in general and their spread run here, not only that, I mean, they're 7-13 straight up, 0-6 straight up on the road, 5-15 against the spread. Butler's not a great cover either. 5-7 ATS as a favorite. They are 10-9 ATS overall. Guess that's not too bad. But when you're talking about the way Marquette's going, it's more about maybe fading Marquette. They just can't seem to get it right here this season. But still, 7 points. I mean, you always got to wonder if Shaka can at least try to turn these guys around a little bit here and start to get some wins. You'd think they might be a little bit better than this, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just the worst team in the Big East this season. I mean, even DePaul's got some wins here overall. So let's hear from you maybe in the chat in this one, in the matchup between Marquette and Butler here on Friday night. Mr. Wester says Marquette is live here. He thinks this is a buy low point for them. He says they have some momentum off that win over Providence, 105-104. They didn't cover the spread in that one, but it was a pretty exciting game, the overtime game there. They did kind of blow that lead in the second half, no doubt about it. I mean, they were up double digits actually and allowed Providence to come back, but they did get the win at home over the Friars there. So maybe on the surface, you'd say just, too many points really in the end for these two teams. But still hard to recommend Butler as a big favorite against these guys no matter what's going on. All right. And for me in this one, I'm going to take the over here with Marquette and Butler. That's where Marquette has maybe struggled a little bit. They're 6-4 to the over as an underdog. Butler is 7-5 to the over as a favorite. I'll try the over 160 here in this one. All right, got to keep an eye on the Michigan Wolverines here on Friday night. 14-point favorites over Ohio State. Could be a football game there. But see what we got here with these two right now. Of course, Michigan trailing Nebraska for first place. You know, we think of what's going on here in the Big Ten. You know, Nebraska 8-0 right now, but Michigan 7-1, Purdue 7-1, Illinois 7-1, Michigan State 7-1, Ohio State's 5-3. It's only good enough for seventh place right now in the Big Ten. But Ohio State, a couple of wins here over Minnesota and UCLA at home. They rocked. They covered the spread. They are 3-2 against the spread as a dog. Michigan 7-9 against the spread as a favorite. These two teams have not yet met this season. The game last season, Michigan won it 86-83 in Columbus as a 1.5 point dog in that one. Michigan's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. They're 7-11 to the under so far this season. Let's hear from you maybe in the chat in this one with Michigan laying a pretty big number here. And I know these teams have been going under here. Michigan especially been going under, but I have a feeling this is maybe going to be an over game at 163. That's what stood out to me. Last year they went for 169 in that game against Columbus. Michigan's not covering any spreads, that's for sure. Just you talk about overrated right now. Maybe that is Michigan here once we pick conference play. Now, they are 7-4 against the spread at home, but of late they've failed to cover here. The 3 consecutive wins that they just had against Washington, Oregon, and Indiana, all favored by double digits, and they didn't cover any of those. In fact, they also were favored by 19.5 against Wisconsin, lost that game at home, favored by Penn State by 24 on the road. So look, as good as this Michigan team is, they're definitely a big time tax right now because of their status as one of the top teams in the country here. So maybe even against Ohio State, it might be tough to get these numbers a little bit here. I mean, they couldn't cover 15.5 against Indiana, although they won that one by 14. So I guess they're close on these numbers. It's just a little bit too high. So can you take the Bucks? Let's see. All right. Timmy Tushu says he likes Michigan team total over there. And Mr. Wesker says Michigan against the spread. And Jacob says Michigan or nothing here. Okay, well, you guys are on Michigan, so I better go to the total here. Give me the over in this one. Taking all totals here tonight. Again, Michigan, I mean, they're just assigning such a big spread. I guess they got to cover one of these here soon. It's just not happening here, I guess, of late. And finally, let's go out to the Mountain West with struggling Utah State right now. Man, a couple of losses here for the Aggies. My San Diego State Aztecs lost in that game the other night when they called that, that was a block. I mean, the Aztecs got jobbed, but that's going to happen. They should have won the game. They were at home and everything. Not at home, but they were at Grand Canyon, lost that game. Grand Canyon, they're going to get the calls at home. But all of a sudden, Utah State here, they're a one game back of San Diego State, 6-2 in conference play. 3-way tie right now in the Mountain West at 6-2. And Grand Canyon and UNLV are both 5-2. For Colorado State here, just 3-5 in conference play. So got great Utah combo of Falslev and Collins coming in here to take on Colorado State. Still just favored by 4 points only against the Rams in this one. Let's see if you guys are interested here tonight with these two. All right, let me get these numbers out here for the Aggies here. Utah State comes in here 15-3 right now, but of course, as I said, on a 2-game losing streak, losses to Grand Canyon and UNLV. Meanwhile, for CSU, they're off of a win over Air Force by 29 points. They covered 19.5, but before that, lost to Boise, lost to Fresno. They've also lost to New Mexico. They did beat UNLV. These two teams did have their first meeting already, and it was 100-88. The Aggies won it at home as a 10.5-point favorite there, so they did get it done. Utah State 6-3 ATS on the road. Colorado State 7-4 ATS at home. Coming in, these two teams have a tendency to go over right now. You got Utah State here 10-6 to the over as a favorite. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here with these two. Colorado State 8-3 straight up at home, but just 2-4 straight up as an underdog. Utah State, like I said here, 15-3, definitely one of the class teams in the Mountain West, if not out west altogether. They're still, I want to say they're probably still the favorite here to win the conference. Like I said, though, they got to overcome the Aztecs, one game ahead of them so far this season for the Aggies here, and they have not played their 2 games yet against San Diego State. So I guess Utah State's still the favorite here, I would think. Let's see what you have in the chat if anybody's on this one. Utah State beats them up. He likes it -4, says Timmy Two Shoes. I agree with Timmy Two Shoes. I got to go with Utah State in this one in their matchup with Colorado State here on Friday night. Mr. Wester says the Aztecs will be able to hang on. They won that game, and they got jobbed in that game. I don't want to, I've waited a few days. I didn't want to come on the shows there and say, hey, they got, but now it's been a couple of days. You go back and look at that play at the end of the game there. A clear block there. Instead, they called a foul, put Grand Canyon on the line in front of their home fans and won the game. So, hey, that's it. That's life in the Mountain West. Let's go to hockey here on Friday night. We got a 5-game card. I'm sorry, we got an 8-game card. Final. Here on the ice, and a good card, actually. Let's get rolling. Not a great one to start, but we got Tampa Bay. You got to talk about the hot Lightning here at this point. I mean, look, they've obviously put themselves in a great position here right now as one of the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Been talking about their progression here right now, but with that record overall, and the Avalanche starting to look a little bit more, still great, but at least they've lost a few. And given Tampa Bay's recent success over the last decade or so, feels like they're back a little bit here right now, and doing it here again with a couple of wins over Dallas and San Jose. Not bad. Dallas is struggling. Yeah, San Jose is resurgent. Chicago, they've won 2 in a row here. They were really struggling, but give them credit here. They win over Winnipeg, and not only that, they beat Carolina last time out. Now, Tampa Bay, 9-0-1 in their last 10. They're 18-4 on the road. This team is really crushing here right now. Tampa's won 13 of their last 14. They've won 10 of the last 13 against the Blackhawks. Blackhawks have actually dropped 4 of their last 5 at home, have lost 6 straight at home to the Lightning overall. But, hey, can they get at least the puck line here, playing a little bit better of late? Chicago's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games. Tampa Bay has gone under in 4 of their last 5. Chicago 10-17 to the under at home. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Let's see here, though. We have hey, there's Jamal Giuseppe in the chat. Good to have him for the hockey segment. He's got some Tampa Bay team total over here. Right now, Tampa Bay's been looking absolutely terrific. Hey, these two teams did meet already in their first matchup of the season, and it was the Blackhawks got the win in that one, 3-2. So Can Tampa Bay return that favor here in this matchup? Timmy says Tampa's going to light it up here. Maybe, with Chicago off of a couple of wins here, maybe that will allow Tampa Bay. But I'm actually going to try the Blackhawks here in this one on the puck line right now. Look, they're I couldn't sell you on them here long term, but I think in this matchup, just a little bit of a letdown here. I'm going to take the Blackhawks plus a goal and a half at minus $1.20. Give me Chicago in this one. The Golden Knights are on the road here, taking on the Leafs. A pretty good game here, although both teams come in off a pair of losses. Golden Knights with losses here to Boston and Philly. Toronto here with losses to Detroit and Minnesota. But you still have Vegas here going to be favored on the road. They're still in a pretty good group here right now, going 7-2. 7-2-1 actually in their last 10 games coming in. Vegas also has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Toronto, they've lost 4 of 5, but won 7 of their last 9 at home. These two teams have gone over in 5 of their last 6 matchups overall. Vegas has gone over in 12 of their last 17, including 6 of their last 8 on the road. Toronto's gone over in 5 of their last 6, and they're 16-12 to the over at home. Man, this seems like it should go over at 6, over at minus 120 or so. I'm going to go ahead and take Vegas here, but man, I like that total too. I'm going to go with Vegas to win on the road here at Toronto. Toronto playing well. Vegas has obviously found their form here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take the Golden Knights on the road against Toronto. All right, Timmy says Toronto go over because Hill's numbers are kind of iffy. And again, we don't have any confirmations, I don't think, on the goalies here. I'm just going with my speculation, giving what some of the beat writers and some of the sites are saying here a little bit. So I'm going to take the Golden Knights here on the road. But, man, it feels like goals here on Friday night between these two, doesn't it? Jamal thinks so. And Timmy's got some props in there as well. St. Louis on the road here, taking on Dallas in division play here in Dallas. Both teams coming in. St. Louis has lost 2 in a row here to Edmonton and Winnipeg. Dallas off of a loss, 1-0 to Columbus last night. So they are on the back-to-back, and their problems are all in the scoring department here right now. We did have them against Boston there the other night, and they put up 6 goals. But other than that, in their last 5, you throw out the Boston game, and they have just 3 goals in 4 games. So they've struggled offensively. Bennington in there for the Blues here. Still, Dallas is going to be favored right now, $1.65. But this offense has been so bad, it's got to increase the volatility a little bit here. Now, St. Louis has lost 7 straight on the road, and for the last 5 to Dallas. St. Louis has actually lost 5 of 7 coming in, but their recent wins were over Tampa Bay and Carolina. I call them the streak breakers a little bit. They've had a tough schedule here for sure. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. St. Louis has gone under in 4 of their last 5. Dallas has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. The Blues are 12-20 to the under here of late. This season, 12-20 to the under. I'm going to take the Blues in this one at plus $1.40, $1.45 here. Give me an underdog here in this one with the Blues on the road. Dallas hasn't really been able to figure this out. Yes, they did get the win over Boston, but St. Louis has played a lot better here, it feels like, of late. They did get blown out by Edmonton and didn't get the puck line there against Winnipeg on the road in the last 2. And they have struggled on the road, but I'm going to go ahead and try the dog here in this one. I don't think that'll be a very popular play, but Jamal says this will be the spot for the Stars to get it done. Timmy says Stars in regulation, and check his player prop here, hints for an anytime goal. All right, I'm going to try the Blues, though. Capitals on the road taking on the Flames here. And the Caps on the road favored here. They've lost 4 straight. Now, Calgary's struggled. We know that, but they do have a couple of wins here of late. They did drop their last 2 to New Jersey and Pittsburgh here at home. They had some scoring issues in those games as well. For Washington here, look, they're in a big-time slump, and they're favored to win this game. They should still win this game, but it's going to be hard to get the confidence, it feels like, to back this team right now in this spot. I mean, the one place where Calgary does have an edge, at home, they're at least, decent enough. We make fun of them here because they're having such a bad season, but they are 13-8 at home anyway right now. And again, Washington has been dismal here with 4 straight losses. They really haven't come close in a couple of these games, although they got blown. Their blowout losses were to Florida and Colorado. So maybe nothing wrong with that. But Washington just 2-9 in their last 11 on the road. They've dropped 5 of their last 6. They have defeated Calgary in 9 of the last 12 meetings. Calgary, I'd say they're good at home, but they're still just 1-4 in their last 5 at home. Calgary just 3-7 actually here in their last 10 overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two here in Calgary have gone over. These two teams have not yet met so far this season. I'm going to try the Calgary Flames here as an underdog in this one, with the Capitals here struggling against a Flames team that can win a few games at home anyway. I know the Sharps are going to take the Capitals here as a favorite, but I don't want to take a favorite here that's lost 4 straight and really not coming close in some of these games right now on the road. Yeah, they've had Calgary's number here, but this is an interconference game. I'm going to take Calgary at home in this one. Caps here for Jamal. Feels like I can't get in sync with the chat at all tonight. And let's see, Timmy says if Cooley's in there, he'll take Calgary. Lindgren has not been quite as strong. And quite frankly, Logan Thompson hasn't been quite himself either. Really just for Washington, though, they're just not getting the offense, really. Thompson's been fine if he's in there, 2.43 goals against, but could be Lindgren here, I think. Richie Rich says, bet on Washington, Ramon. And Timmy says he's got Ovechkin, I think, here for an ATG. All right, I'm going to take the Flames here, but I will say this. I think the Sharps are going to be on Washington, and hey, my chat, our chat, they're sharp. All right, next up, the Flyers are on the road here in this one. Oh. There we go. The Flyers on the road here taking on the Avalanche, the aforementioned Avalanche here. Philadelphia coming here 23-17-9. They've had some struggles, though, here of late. But Colorado's lost 3 of 4. Break them up. Something's wrong here with Colorado. They finally came back down to earth a little bit here. It probably only gives them that much more motivation. But look, at 275, again, really tough to win some of these games by the puck line when we got all these 1-goal games overall coming in. These two teams did play their first meeting. Colorado won it in Philadelphia 3-2 in that one. Philadelphia has lost 7 of their last 8 games coming in. They've also lost 5 of their last 6 against Colorado. Colorado still won 17 of their last 20 and at home, and 13 of their last 18 here overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but Colorado's gone over in 8 of their last 12. Philly's been a constant over this season. They're 29-20 to the over, but more importantly, 15-9 to the over on the road, 22-11 to the over as a dog. Even though Colorado is a bit of an under team, they are 13-12 to the over at home here. So I got to try the over in this one with Philadelphia and Colorado here on Friday night. I'll go over 6.5. It's even juiced up here at a few spots to the over right now. To be fair, 6.5 over -120 right now. I'm seeing the line here at the square books, but well, actually, most of the books have started to shade this one to the under, so I'll take it here. -105 or maybe even money. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Give me the over here with the Flyers and Colorado. All right, Jamal is going to take the Flyers here on the puck line, or maybe +2. All right. Timmy says the Avs are going to get it right here. They've struggled a little bit, and this is a good spot for them against a Philly team that 12-21 is an underdog. But Philly is 11-9 on the road this year. We know Colorado's been great. How about the Ducks on the road, taking on the Kraken tonight in Seattle? Man, the Ducks are back to their winning ways here right now with a winning streak, and Seattle's starting to have some problems here, although they did win last time out. Give Seattle credit. They did beat the Islanders at home 4-1, but really, other than that, Seattle's lost 4 straight. Before that, Anaheim's won 5 straight. Seattle's dominated Anaheim for the last pretty much since they came into the league, but Anaheim has lost 10 of the last 12 games against the Kraken. However, they did win here last year twice. However, Seattle has won both meetings so far this season, holding Anaheim to 1 goal. They won 3-1 and 3-1. Seattle's won 5 of the last 7 at home against Anaheim overall. Seattle's gone under in 11 of their last 15 at home. Also, 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under. But look, Seattle's having some issues right now. They lost to Detroit, Boston, Utah, and Pittsburgh here before that win over the Islanders. But the Ducks are playing well, and they are even money here. I got to go with Anaheim in this one on the road. Give me the Ducks to win here at Seattle on Friday night. All right, Jamal's going to go with Kraken on the money line here. Here's the Rangers on the road taking on the Sharks. In this one, you've got the Rangers here off of 2 straight losses. They're 21, 24-6. They're still in last place. They're still terrible. They are 16-11 on the road, but it hasn't been like it was in the beginning of the year, it feels like. They're just 10-7, 10-17 as an underdog. The Rangers here right now have also had some losses here, 1-7, their last 8. They do own this series, 11 of the last 14 meetings. Rangers have won, but this is a different San Jose team. San Jose has won 8 of their last 12 coming into this one. This is only the second time all year San Jose has been a favorite. Imagine that. This team is basically a 500 team, but this is only the second time all year they've been favored. I'm taking the Sharks for sure here in this one. Sharks are 13-9 at home. Yes, the Rangers may play their best hockey on the road, but at $1.25 with this Sharks team, I'm not going to pass. Sharks have gone over in 5 straight at home. Rangers have gone over in 6 straight on the road. And look at that total, totally juiced up there at 6.5 over 25. maybe a little bit too high, but it does feel like they'll be, maybe it will be 4-3, but I'm going to take the Sharks for sure in this one. Look, we can't stop betting the Sharks at this point. We've already mentioned it a million times that you've taken the Sharks so far this season. You're up 15 units, best by far in the NHL. Meanwhile, for the Rangers, if you bet them every game, you're down 10 and a third units this season. Although, give them credit, there's still 3 units to the good on the road. That's how bad they've been at home, but a far cry from how they were playing on the road early on. I've got to take the Sharks in this one. And the Sharks are going to smell blood in the water, says Jamal. And Timmy says it is the over. Mr. Wesker's ride or die with the Sharks right now. And finally, we got the Devils taking on, the mighty Canucks. Hey, the Canucks won last time, okay? They've stopped their losing streak with a win over Washington at home, 4-3. Shows you maybe where Washington's at, right? New Jersey here, meanwhile, off back-to-back road wins at Calgary and at Edmonton. So they're going for the Canadian Northwest sweep here right now. Those wins were 2-1 and 2-1. So guess what the score of this game is going to be? That's what I thought. Vancouver here, 5-14 at home, 13-26 as an underdog. New Jersey is just 13-15 as a favorite, but 14-13 on the road. It's not bad. New Jersey here, basically in the middle of the standings in the Metropolitan Division, but the Vancouver Canucks are, one of the worst teams. They are the worst team in the league here currently with their record. So, look, this is going to be a win, I'm sure, for the Devils. 2-1. I mean, they just won their last 2 games, 2-1 here. So, I don't know if that price 145 reflects it necessarily as a chance, but I'm still going to take the Devils here. I am on the fade of the Canucks. So that's pretty square, but I'm going to try it here. Maybe pick the exact score line, though, there for the money in this one. Jamal says the Devils should get it done. Like I said, when you just beat Calgary and Edmonton 2-1 and 2-1, going to play Vancouver here. If you should be able to win this one. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Really appreciate you guys for joining me. 90 minutes of sports and sports betting talk here as we get ready for the big championship weekend. UFC returns, NFL on Sunday, a big college basketball card on Saturday. Thank you for joining me here on the show. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our best bets over at Tony's Picks. Including mine here on Friday. We'll have some action in college basketball and more. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the All Cappers tab. You can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page and get signed up. All right, gang, that's going to do it. We'll be back here tomorrow for more Night Moves. We'll look at the big college basketball card and more here for the weekend. I want to thank my crew in the chat, the chat pros in there, kind of helping me along, letting me take a breath now and then and give us some great picks. So they gave you some great picks, too, in the chat. That's going to do it. Back tomorrow for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.